Okay, so here we go. I'm Substance Painter, and I'm going to put new. I'll keep like as a PBR metallic roughness, and then 4K. We can change this when we export anyway. But and here there is this create a texture per Udemy tile. What it's going to do is going to take all those tiles and create a different separate group for each. And yeah, I think it's good for us in this case. And let me open our project. It's going to be on Pantanal, 3D Assets, Houdini Files, Geo, and SectionCut. So let's press OK. Yeah, here's our terrain loaded, and you see it created different like textures for each section. So here we have like the sides. So I'm going to call this sides. Here is the top, as we divided there, top, and here bottom, and yeah, so we can keep all of them together, but we're going to text them separately. And to start, I will start with the side. So when we come to the side, we're going to first bake the normal mesh. We're not going to bake the ID, we don't have anything, and we're going to use the poly mesh as high poly mesh, so we have the same thing anyway. And common parameter, yeah, let's be 4K, and yeah, we're good to go. You see, here is the thing that we're trying to recreate more or less. They have like these islands, and the natives in Brazil, like a long time ago, this is a very wet area that like when there's a lot of floods and when the high tide comes, it just goes over the land. So what they used to do, they would create these kind of like islands using shells and bones and skin of animals, and they keep building that so they could live on top of here for like sometimes for a long time, sometimes just for the wet season while they're hunting or fishing. And so here I have another image. Yeah, so and here you can see like how they build these islands, like using like shells and dirt, and everything goes together, so it gives like some good way of the rain keep going to the soil, but it keep like a hard surface. So it's a very good engineering technique that they used like 5,000 years ago. So if we'd have like a higher resolution object with some details like sculpted details or just like a noise that was like displaced on top of this, we could use the difference between the low poly to the high poly mesh to create a normal map and use that to give some details. We won't have this approach for now. We're going to just go straight to texturing, and let's wait until it bakes for all three materials, all three objects, because now it's split in different UDEMs, and it's good because this is totally independent on this for the texturing. So let's wait. While we're talking, I created this folder. It's my texture folder, and I brought in here different textures that I bought from Polygon.com. Great website. Let me see if I can have it. I was getting some references in here. So Polygon, yeah. This website, yeah, I use this one. You have a lot of textures, and the ground textures. Where is the ground? Yeah, this one. Yeah, I have like some textures from these websites. You can use any texture that you want. You can use the default materials from Substance Painter. You can create your own materials using Photoshop, and you can download from internet. There's some good materials for free. Here, for example, you have like some free materials. You can just download and use that. It's a good material for the side of the terrain. In our case, I think it's a good one. And already, okay, so it's all baked. I already brought mine here, and so here's the clay. Another clay, the forest ground. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to create this a layer on this very edge that I want to have like a bit of this green look, you know, like because here on top is going to be green. So we want to have this first layer to be a green layer, so we can have like this transition as we would be seeing a bit of the grass, the bottom of the grass or the weeds in here. So let's start doing it. I'll come to the layer, come to the sides, and I'm going to create a new layer, fill layer. So in this fill layer, what we're going to do, we're going to bring these materials to these slots here. For example, I have the color in here, and then the height, we have this, I think the height maybe is this one, I don't know, large, yeah. So this is displacement, yeah, I think this is the height. So yeah, this one in normal, and this ambient occlusion we won't use. This is the glossiness, so we can bring the glossiness to the roughness, but it's actually the opposite. Let me see if I can invert this in here. I don't know if I can invert in here, but yeah, I think for now it's okay. You see, because we have like a nice UV there, we have the same even size of these textures for everything. But we're going to come, we're going to come in here and present this, and the scale, we're going to have like some tiling, not too much, a bit of tiling. I think maybe around here. Let me see. Yeah, I think this is good. But what we're going to do, we're going to, because the glossiness was the opposite, I'm going to take away my roughness in here, like rough, and I'm going to give, oh no, I'm going to keep the roughness. I'm just going to click this, and then I'm going to give it to be more rough. And now what I want to do, I want to just get this very top section here to have like this material over. So the way we do it, we come to this and add a black mask, okay, and then we're going to add like a paint layer. Now everything I paint is going to give us it's going to reveal what's under. So I'm not going to use this brush. I think we can have like another brush, like more irregular, more organic. So I think the dirt one would be good for us. And let me press Control and drag to get like a smaller here. And because we don't have anything on top, doesn't matter what we do, so we don't need to worry too much about it. So I think it's still too big for me. I'm going to do even smaller. Yeah, we can do in different places. If we come to this 2D view, maybe it can be easier for us to work in here. And if we come in here and press 2D only, we would come just here and we could work maybe better to work just in here. To create a new layer that's going to cover everything, and then on this one what we will have is I will come back to my ground, and we have clay, we have this ground gravel, we have this muddy section. I like this one, I think we go with this one, so I'm going to drag this to the base color, and we have everything on that now. And let me see. Yeah, we have this, and then the normal map. I'm going to use the normal map. I don't know if I like the one there in this one. I don't know what happened if we take away just the, let me take this away. So if we take the height away, we have just the normal map, and I think it gives us a better feel for it. Maybe the height is getting us too much information, or yeah, I think it's giving us maybe too much, so I don't feel like having the height. And that's the nice thing, we have this, and then we just like I didn't come all the way to this part because I won't have this on the video, so I'm just being efficient because as I'm the director of this shot, so I don't need to be afraid that someone's going to ask us to, oh no, but I want to see this side. I'm going to see just this angle. Maybe this is going to be my main view. Maybe this one. Hardly this one. Yeah, I don't know. Maybe I do. I'm just not going to do this other side because that's for sure not. But this one, I will do it. And then I can come back to here, come back to the paint, and I'm just going to. Okay, so now we come to this one, and let me add more. I had like the normal map. We have the ambient occlusion. We won't need this, the reflection. We won't need then the displacement. Yeah, we won't have the displacement. And then let's do the same thing. Let's come in here and change the scale and tile this thing more and more. I think this is good. I have like something like this. Yeah, I think this is nice. I think I like it. So I'm going to come to my height, no need. And my roughness, let's get this more shiny because maybe this is a bit wet. And yeah, I'm gonna have like this. And then same thing, we're going to get like a black mask and paint. And then I'm going to paint on here. But like you have to remember that like if I paint this on top, you see it's going to cover the grass. Because the grass is well painted, I think we did a nice job. What I can do, I'm going to bring this layer to the top, and then if I'm here, and then if I paint under it, it's going to be, the grass is going to cover it. So we don't need to be afraid of having this, this painting, to paint on top of the grass. It's going to be nicely under the grass layer. What happened, like if we see like the land is going like this way, I like to have like these more straight lines going on this, because this part we're going to have like this, the shells popping out of this area. So they are good in that sense. So I'm going to go a bit more in here like this. Maybe like, yeah. Don't worry if it's getting like these tiles. We can fix that later with another layer on top of everything. So yeah, it's good. I'm kind of happy where we are now. So, it's a bit, yeah, maybe you can come a bit here. I'm still using the same brush. It gives this nice, nice edge, not a sharp edge, you know, like this more organic feel to it. And again, I won't bother with this other side. You think like I'm being sloppy to leave like that, but it's just, you need to be efficient, and you need to choose carefully where you want to put your time, because when you're doing like a project by yourself and there's so many things that you need to do, and so you need to pay attention in whether you want to keep like putting a lot of time in things that you know you're not going to use. And even if I would change my mind later on and I need to show this side, would be very easy to just come back to this project, paint that other side, and then moving on, you know. So I'm not going to do that, because at this moment I'm pretty sure I'm not going to show that other side. So. Okay, I like this more. Yeah. So let's get us another layer in here. So what I'm going to do something under. So I'm going to click on this layer and then put like, and then put down like, not this one, the fill layer. Okay, same thing. We don't need the height. And let me see what we can get now. Maybe we can get like more like this gravel look. Yeah, maybe this one, less contrasty, can be cool. Let's see. Put it in here. Yeah, I like it. Yeah, looks good. And then the normal one, we have it in here. Yeah, normal map in here. And again, let me see. Yeah, I think it's good. So we need to do the same thing. You see that our normal map is going over everything. So when we put like the black mask, add black mask. Okay, it just gave us back what we had, and then let's put like a paint layer, and same thing. We're just going to come in here and then paint under. One thing, doesn't matter the order. Like now I see and I think, oh no, it's too big. I can come to here and then come to this one and then tile it a bit more to have like this more, like maybe like, I don't know, like 4. Yeah, I think 4 is good. And then yeah, so we're back in here, and before we jump into the displacement and on shading the top, what I want to do, I want to come in here and change a bit the hue and the lightness of this color. So the way we do it, we click not in the mask. You need to click here in the texture, and from here you can place like this and add a filter. And there is many different filters in here. The one that I'm looking for, oh sorry for that. The one that I'm looking for is this this one. So I'm going to bring it more to like to get like more this reddish. I see more this like yellowish tone. Then comes more blue, more pink, more red. Yeah, a bit more like this. There's a more like a reddish tone to it, so it merges better with the other one. I'm going to make it darker. I think like that. I think it's good. So when we press here, we can just see like how is our color map. So here's our color map by itself. See there's some problems in here, so we can come back to this layer and press the paint, and then we can just like paint a bit better. This one. If I want to take away a bit of grass, if I think it's too much, we can come to the paint and just under here have like the. And if I paint black again, it's just going to take away thing. No. If I press, if it's white, I'm adding. I'm clearly because I use like a black mask, so I took away everything. So when I paint white, it's going to show, and if I paint black, it's going to hide. So yeah, I can just give some variations to the texture. So let me show you how. We can grab this one. For example, this one is a greenish thing that I can do some patches of this in here. So I can come to, let me see, maybe on top of this one, we can just come and add another one, and this one the same thing. and I'm going to drag this to the base color, and this to the, oh, still thinking. Okay, now you see that's a nice one. And then this to the normal map. I'm going to grab my roughness a bit higher, and then yeah, see how cool is this one. I think the only thing that's happening here is that maybe yeah, we need to play a bit with the tiling and getting it like to tile a bit more around. We've been playing with around 4, and it's been a good amount for us. And this, I really don't care that's styling, because that's what we're going to do. We're going to do the same thing. We're going to do a black mask, and I'm going to do a paint. Or we can just do a generator instead. And in this generator, we can just come here, press enter, and do like maybe this dirt. And then it's going to just go around all of these layers. But if I bring this to the, you see, if I want only on this top one, I can come again and do like a painting, and I will do that. Like let me show you. I just want on this top one, so I'm going to come here, and I also want to like paint, and I'm going to paint it black. Give us like a bigger brush for now, and I'm going to take away this on the edge. You don't need to take away everything. It's okay that's contaminated a bit, the other layers, but because I'm going to work on this and it's going to be stronger than it is now, it's going to be maybe too much for these other layers. So I'm going to come in here. Let me just erase from this bottom. Yeah. So let me come in here now and let's play with the dirt, and then we can see if we need to. The dirt node is here, and then we can have like this contrast. We have more or less. I want more contrast, and the dirt level, you see, like it's a lot or a bit less. I think like this is a good amount. We have like this variation, and what I can do with that, instead of having this greenish color, I can come again and do like and you see, depending on where I click, I'm going to add something to this stack of the mask stack, or I can do this to this the main material texture. So I'm going to add like a filter on this, and in this filter I'm going to add like the same thing. Let me put like this. I can have like curves and adjustment, but I think I like this one. It's easy to work. It's getting there, yeah, a bit more yellowish. And then I can bring the saturation more just to see what color we're talking about, and it's red. So now I can come in here, maybe give a bit more, and then we can just like make it darker or even lighter. But I think I go with the darker one. You see, and we broke a bit the surface on this. So yeah, give a bit more natural look and feel to this. I think it's good that we have these layers. And yeah, that's it for now. And the next lesson, I think I show you how to texture this top layer on Houdini. There's different technique there that I like to use, but I'm going to play a bit in here, and then we work there to give more like a natural edge. Before that, let's come in here and let's. This is the material. See, like so. It's the material you see, like because of the shininess of this material in here, it's a bit wet. We can't see as much, so it's nice. We have like this nice merge between these two. Like this is the last one that I put. You see, it's just like making it more dark here. And if I come to the height, we have a height on this layer and in this layer. Those are the two layers that we have height. Let me try to understand why is that. Where is this coming from? If I press in here, I have a height in here. You see, I don't have like the material deciding what's the height, but I have this layer and it's telling no height. What I'm going to do, I'm going to add the height information in here, and let me play with that. So this is the first one, so it's this, but I like maybe we can have this height on that. And let me come to the material and see. Yeah, you see we have like this height in here. It's not nice, and it's totally like from this distance. Yeah, even from this distance it's not very good. So but when we export, this is going to be a separate channel, so we can just dial it down. But maybe it's good to have like these variations from the map itself. And yeah, I think maybe it's good. What happened? Like, let me try something that I never tried. If I press in here and bring like a levels, and instead of affecting the base color, if I affect the height, let me see what I get. Like, you see, oh yeah, I can dial this down like in here. So I'm going to just bring this a bit down like this. And if you look to the color, we see what's happening. We're just changing these values here. So we're having like less contrasty and more, you see, like this, a lot of height, like the white is more height, black is no height at all. So I have like this. And in this case, it's better to see like this way. And oh, you see full height. So like this, I like it. And then maybe here, playing even more contrast or less. I think less contrast is good. Just giving a bit of height in here. Yeah, I like it. So now I'll come to this layer, and I used this one. It was like the clay, the mud. I think it's this one. So this one, the height is a lot. So let me see. I think I will bring this one. Yeah, I will add the height, and then I bring this to the height. And you see, it's a lot. And then I will come to this one, this material, add levels, and then instead of changing the base color, I will change the height information, and I will do the same thing. I'm just going to dial down a bit this. So I have just a bit more variation on the height, and now the same thing on the clay. This one I won't use. This is just the other one. I will use, yeah, this one. So this one is the clay, and this is the displacement. I think it's a good displacement to have. I will put down in the height. Yeah, you see too much, but then we do the same thing. Well, levels, height. Yeah, just. Yeah, I think it's good to have, and then we decide later in the Houdini. We're going to decide how much we want, but we have it. No, the same thing from this last one. So I'm going to play with the height again. So coming to the height, this one was this one, right? Yeah, I think so. So here's the displacement. It's very defined displacement height. And yeah, we did like a filter, but I don't want the filter. My mistake. I want to have the levels and height. Yeah, I have just the highest. Yeah, this one. And then with the roughness, to give some variation, because it's all like same roughness all over this material, for example, I would come to let's try to find this one. I think it's this one. Yeah, it's this one. Yeah, right. So this material, what I'm going to do, I'm going to bring this roughness. Where is my roughness? I think this is glassness. So it's a lot. I will choose the material, come to my roughness, and drag this. Then what I can do two different things. I can come to the levels and invert, or I can come to the filter and the filter. We can just put like an invert filter. I think we have it in here straight. Invert in here. Yeah, it's on. It's for everything, and we want just for the roughness. So now we have some parts more shiny, some parts less. Let me show you the roughness. So on and off, you see it inverted. Yeah, and off. Okay. So and now we can also come in here and play with the levels and change the roughness. And let me put back to my material so we can see it better from here. Maybe I have like this, and then I can play with my roughness. See here, the affecting the general flow of what is more wet and less wet, but it still have more variations, because if we look to the roughness, we just like seeing like black is very rough, you know, like this it's very shiny, sorry, and white is very rough. So it's just making like more shiny in some areas, but in the end, like we're having more variation over where it's rough and where it's more wet. Yeah, so I like it like that. So yeah, I think we cover a lot of cool things and very easy things. And with this understanding, if you understood so far, you can do a lot of things. And then your limitation is more like an artistic limitation, not a technical one. So you can do whatever your mind thinks. I think you can reach a lot of cool stuff using these very simple techniques. Thank you, and see you in the next lesson.